Hey guys, welcome back. So what I'm going to do in this video is first of all talk about what I'm up to. I'm working on a big kitchen here, and I've got a big pile of doors here to do that I've made. All these shaker doors. These are a couple glass ones. This is what they normally look like here with the panels in them. So what the process, I've already done all the flat sanding on the faces of these, and now what I have to do is I have to go around and literally sand all these edges with my sander to smooth them up. But I'll tell you guys, it's no fun. If any of you guys have ever sanded a big pile of doors like that, the edges, it's bad enough doing the flats, but the edges are hard to keep the sander, and it's just tiring on the arms. And so I was thinking as I was doing this, wouldn't it be neat just to have my sander mounted like something like this on in a board, and then I could just literally just run the door along, and then I'd be holding the door and doing the sanding that way. So that's what I'm going to gear up in this video. I'm going to get my thinking cap on. I got to try to get this sander mounted in a little thing here that I can sand the edge of these doors, and that should make it a lot easier on me. So you guys sit back, enjoy the rest of the video, and let's get her built. Alright, so the way that I'm going to hold my sander is the sander is just round in the center. So what I've done is just took a piece of plywood here and just cut a rounded hole. And then what I'm going to do is I'll use this as a clamp mechanism. I'll just drill a couple of holes and put some long screws down in through. So I'll get that done and then see where I'm going to go from there. You can see now I got the sander hooked in. Now what I'm going to do is I figured out my height. I want to have my board that I'm going to use to slide my material on about the center of the sander, so that works out to 3.5 inches. So that's what I've done. I've just got some 3.5 inch pieces of melamine here, and I'm going to put 4 of them, one on each side of the sander and one on each end. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to attach those with air nails. Alright guys, so I got a little ahead of myself and I didn't film all the little steps, but this is pretty simple stuff. So I got my pieces nailed in, and then all I did was put a piece on the end here and just air nailed it in as well. And now you can see my sander's all hooked down in place. That made it nice and rigid. So now I need a fence system. So all I did is I just took a piece of melamine and this piece of board, and I just air nailed it in through here. And I did have to cut out, I wanted to have it so it was like a fence, so I cut out the circle so that this thing will fit in against the sander, and had to do a little bit of grooving there. But this literally took, I know I didn't spend an hour on it total to get this built, and I've already done some sanding with it, folks, and I'll tell you, I'm going to do a demonstration here with this thing. I'm just amazed how good this worked and how easy it makes sanding the edge of them doors. So now, what I got this thing set, it took me a minute to set it up, but I wanted to have it so that this was set in. So all I did is when I put this piece on, I just kind of pushed in on this against the sander to make this run in a little wee tiny bit. And then when I hook my fence on the back side, it's all going to be, I can adjust it in and out like this to make it so that, because what I want is I want when I push a piece in against this fence, I want this just to run right onto the sander, but I want this back side to be slightly more, so that as I'm pushing it through, it's going to progressively sand it more, and then when it comes off of this fence, everything's just going to run through. So that's what I did, and like I said, super happy. So I'm going to get some screws back in and get the camera set up, and I'm going to show you guys how I sand the doors now, which, like I said, can't be happier. So I'll get it set up. So what I'm trying to sand off is, see all these little saw kerf marks? Well, this is because when I build my doors, I build them slightly oversized, and then all I do is just size them with the table saw. So it leaves all these little sanding marks, which I have to sand out. Alright, so let's give this thing a demonstration for you. look and see, and I know it's hard for you guys to see, but now all them marks that I showed you are all gone. And so this thing, it's not very pretty, guys, but it makes it so much faster that I'm really happy. And it makes it even better too, because now, before when I used to sand the edges, I was always worried about the sander rocking and taking an edge off. Well, with this thing, it doesn't really do that. So even though it's ugly, it's okay to be ugly as long as you're faster and better. So you guys keep tuning in. Hopefully you had fun watching this video, and hopefully we'll see you next time.